Hello everyone, this is Moby the Yarny, and no, it's not Tuesday. Happy Thursday to you. And I decided to do another video this week. I have a few more projects to show everyone, and I'm Moby the Yarny, and my channel is about crocheting mostly, and about yarn of course, and sometimes about knitting. But if it's your first time joining me, I thank you for stopping by. And if you like what you see, you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you're regularly here, I thank you for stopping in again. And some people keep saying they don't get notified, but there is a bell by the thumbs up. If you hit that bell, you'll get notified when I have videos out. And today I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've been working on and some of the color choices I've picked for my upcoming projects. I was showing you my slippers, of course. This was one of the colors I chose. I showed you this one already, but I did choose this red color here. And I chose to run it with the green so it would look more Christmassy. And I also used, and I did the review the other day on Tuesday, I did the review on the Lion brand hooks, and I decided to use this one. This one is a 9mm. I used the bamboo hook again on this project for these, and it worked really well. And these are the big cozy slippers that I'm always talking about. And this is with, show you again, the Caron anniversary cakes. I love these for making slippers. They're number 6 weight. And this color is, let me see, this color is just called Jubilee, but I liked it for Christmas slippers. And I ran the green with it to make it look more Christmassy. This is just one of my yarns I had in my scrap yarn pile. One of my grandsons likes everything green, so I have a lot of green shades of yarn. So I picked that to run with the slippers. Now this is a man's size 11. Fits a man 11 to 12 foot, so that's why it looks so big. So this is the size it would be for a man size. Also this one I was making here, this was also for a man size, because in my family they don't care about the color of the yarn because they're going to wear the slippers because they like them that much. And this one is made with this yarn here, which I believe it's called Palace, which is also Caron anniversary cake. Oop. Let me see, I'll tell you for sure. Oh, it's Prismatic, not Palace. I think one of the other yarns I was working with was called Palace, but this one is a woman's size 8. This would fit a woman's size 8, and I usually put a nice topper on it. I was looking at some white furry yarn today that I would probably like to put on it, but we'll see. I do different ones for different people so they can tell there's a part, but yeah, that's what I'm working on with those slippers. And I also made another hat. I showed you I was working on it. It's the one I made from, well, actually from my son-in-law. He's the one that asked for a hat like I made this one here. And I forgot to tell you what they were actually made of, the stitches. This is made from the Mandala cake, which Mandala Sparkle is what it is in the color Nova. This is a number 3 weight yarn. But the stitch I used is just a double and then a cross double. which is the same stitch I used in the scarf that I made, which I was making a scarf for Creative Grandma, and she was using a half double cross. And I remember another project that I think it was just a stitch tutorial that Crystal from Bag A Day was showing, and she was using the double cross stitch. So I thought maybe I'll try that. I like the stretchiness of it because I want to be warm, but I don't want to suffocate when I'm out. I could have used one of these hats today because I went out and it is freezing out there and raining. It is November and it is cold today. So, but this is the one I made for him, and I made it out of the this one is Caron 1 pounder in the color black, and this is Red Heart Super Saver in a camouflage. But they're made from the same stitching again, but if you see the different sizing just from changing the yarns. But okay, that's the second hat I made. And I was making hats for things we're making Thursday, which is today, Thursday. So I don't know how many hats I'll end up making in November because we have a few more Thursdays left. And so I'll probably make a few more because I do have another one on the hook, but it's in the other room. And it's very colorful because I'm using yarn that I only have one skein of, and I probably won't use in any other projects. I said I can make hats with them and maybe make some fingerless gloves to match or a scarf to go with, because there's enough of the yarn that I could probably do that with. Okay, and then I've been working on baby projects, and I did start, I remember showing you this one from the book, but not realizing this is a knit one, and I am not doing a new, I am not good at knitting. I just recently started knitting. The only thing big I've knitted was a basket, and I did have drop stitches in that basket. That was like my first major knitting project. So, I mean, I looked up how to fix your drop stitches, and I fixed them, but I don't want to have drop stitches, especially if I'm doing a baby blanket. So I decided to pick this one, which is called, let me look real quick, because at my age you can't remember. Oh, it's called Heartwarming Wrap, but I'm doing it all in white. And what it is it's got front post double clusters, and the way they're done, they kind of poke out and they look like hearts. You gotta see which way is the top. Okay, this way is the way it looks like hearts. They kind of poke out right there, and it makes it look like hearts. So, and it's a very easy pattern to follow, and I just did this much yesterday. I worked on it for about an hour and a half and got this much done. And of course, with it being a baby blanket, it's not going to be that small because it has a border that's about, I think, let me see what it says here, which I can't tell you how to do this because it's not my pattern, but the border is probably a 5-inch border or more. Wait. It says it's a 10-inch border. So it adds a lot more room to the whole, and then you do put a ribbon through it along the edging. I don't know if you can really see that, but I haven't decided if I'm putting a blue ribbon through or a white ribbon. I might just leave it all white and go with a white ribbon, or I might put a blue ribbon through it since it is for a boy. But I enjoyed doing this because when I first see them, I think there's no way I can do those. You know, even me, after 42 years of crocheting, I'm like, oh, that looks complicated. but it's not. Once you just sit down and read it and start it, I'm like, okay, this is easy. But yes, so you can do, I plan on making every one of these in this book, and I have enough grandchildren that I could give it to them. So, and then the other one I was working on, I've been working on both of them. I'm trying to allot time for each one, so I've been trying to make enough squares for this one. Each day I'm trying to make a few squares. So I added a few more squares to this one. So I'm coming along with the solid granny squares for this blanket. When I get enough of them, then I will start putting them together, and I will finish out the little bear faces that go on them, because they have to be embroidered in the face to make them cute, which I plan on doing. But that's how far I've gotten with those. So, and for these I am using the blue, the beige, and the white, and a pound of love is what I'm using for those. It's just Lion Brand Pound of Love, which seem to be gravitating toward the pounds of yarn because I know that once I finish a project, I'll have yarn left over for another project. And I did buy yarn again, but it was for the projects I already told you about, which was for my Christmas blanket and for the placemats that I want to make for my table. So I decided on colors for that. But first, I remember telling you I was doing a cow, and I couldn't decide on colors for that, but I did decide on the colors, and this is another scrap yarn project that I'm doing. Now the cow is not my design, this one. This is also from Kelly from Craft in a Cuppa. I love her style. She has like a bohemian style. And this cow that she made, it has a collar, and then it has the front, and it has fringe on it, and I really like it. If you go back in one of my videos, I show the Good Vibes vest that I made 2 different versions of them. One for, well, I actually made 3 different versions, because I made one for my oldest granddaughter, who's 18, in the rainbow colors. And then I made a white version for my 6-year-old granddaughter. Yeah, it's white with rainbow. And then I made a black and rainbow for my middle daughter. So I have 3 different versions of that Good Vibes vest, because I just love that style. And then the first hexicard that I made was from her channel. I followed that, and it was the granny hexie in the pink colors, and I used Caron cakes for that. It was self-changing yarn, but I got the ideas for that from her. And then this one I'm making is her pattern, because I want to design my own, but I want to make hers first to see if I would be able to come up with that concept of one for myself. But I grabbed some colors. I have black, of course, winter, and I have gray, because I have all these 1 pound ones left. After doing 2 projects with these, I still have this much left. And I have the glitter purple shimmer. This one is a Mary Maxim Glimmer in the color of dark purple. And then I have 2 of these cakes left, which this color is Gray Whisper, which is from the Red Heart Roll With It Sparkle. I did my Summer Night Shawl tutorial in this color. but I have 2 of them left, so I want to use them for something. And I began the cowl, which it begins like a normal shawl would, but then you add your layers and then you change colors. So in between these colors will be these other colors, because you do change colors every so often, and eventually it will be joined together in the back. And then you will add like a sweater collar on it. It's hard to describe it without seeing a picture of it. So if you go to Craft in a Cuppa, her name is Kelly, and she has the cowl. It's a bohemian cowl. You'll see she does it in a bunch of different colors, but she has like 3 versions of it on her channel. But if you just see her style, and she has newsboy hats, they're really cute. I might end up making one of those because I like those too. I think I made one of her berets before, but I gave it to my grandson. I know I made one of hers, and I made one of Jada and Stitch's beret. I made it with the silk and bamboo yarns mixed. But this is another one I forgot to show you that I've been working on. I started, but it's not a priority, but it might be now since the weather has changed abruptly. No longer having these 70-degree weathers. It's now, today, we were in the 30s last night, so now it's really, really chilly. So I probably might work on this a little more if I want to wear it myself. Or I might end up giving it away, like I do a lot of things. But I did start another gnome. It's just like the other one, but I used some sparkle yarn, and it's only the beginning, so I got to do all the, it needs the arm, oh she, this will be a she. Need the arms and the hair and the nose and all the accents that I will put on there. And this is not one from the book. This is just like the other one I made from watching all the tutorials, because it basically it's, you're just making a ball and then you're putting a cone on it. So that's what those are. Okay. So what I decided for my Christmas blanket. Of course, I've already had this white color. Because I always end up getting, when I get mystery boxes, I get white yarn. Red Heart Super Saver white, which I love because I use it in so many projects. The white always seems like it's softer than the rest, to me. Anyway, it has a softer. And to me, it seems like different colors in the Red Heart might be coarser than others. I was using the green color that had different colors, and when it would change colors, to me it felt rougher for some of the different colors, but the white's softer. And then everything I got was on sale today, so I was happy about that. I went at the right time to get the sales, so all their sugar and creams were on sale. So for my placemats, I got cotton yarn, which I have some cotton, but they're not the right colors. I have to have the right colors for things. So, and I did get an amigurumi book, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let me go over these yarns real quick. So for the blanket, I got the big twist, more than a pound, it says. It's 193 yards. I got it in basic red. So it's 193 yards, 17.6 ounces, 1,000 milligrams, and 500 grams. And it's a medium 4, but again, it's thin, more like a 3 weight to me. And the color is just deep red, it's called. Now, the pattern I plan on following for this is Marley Birds, which I already had picked out before I knew that she was going to be the creator spotlight for December. And if you didn't want to know that, I'm sorry, but that's who it is. So I got some different shades of red because I want to use different shades of red in it. And some are sparkles. These two are sparkle. Plain red, sparkle red. I have another green that they did not have that I want, because I want a couple shades of green. It might be a deeper one or a dark or a lighter one. I'm not sure, but I have this sparkle one. This is Care Simply Soft. They didn't have a bigger one of it, but this was also on sale, so it wasn't too bad. But this one is called Dark Sage Sparkle, and it's very squishy and soft. But you know, I like sparkles in my yarn. And this one I'm just making to put on my couch during Christmas. But I really liked the concept of, and this one is a white sparkle. It's a Care Simply Soft too. And it's just called Snow Sparkle. So I have sparkle white and a regular white, sparkle green, sparkle red, and I have 3 shades of red, which I need another shade of green, and then I'll be set for that. Now these are done. This blanket I'm making and the placemats I'm making are basically done in the same way, which they are a grid. You first crochet the grid, and then you add in the other colors. Now the one for Marley Bird, you're supposed to crochet long strips that you weave in, but I'm not sure if I'm going to crochet the strips or not. I might, because it's the same concept as the placemats that are by the placemats I'm making from this yarn. So these sparkles are Big Twist, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, it's Big Twist in just the color red, and this one is, where are you? Mulberry. The dark red is Mulberry. Okay. So Crystal from Bag a Day, her placemat is the same thing. You would crochet the grid with the lighter color, which I'm not sure if I'll do it in the light beige or the white. They didn't have the light beige in the Sugars and Cream. This was the lightest beige they had. So I did get a white one because these were all on sale. The Sugars and Cream, I believe they were $3 something each. And then so I got a lighter beige in the K&C one, which was also 20% off. So I didn't get anything there today that was not on sale, which I was happy to do that. This was cheaper than if I would have ordered it. But I'm probably still going to put an order in for Christmas yarn because I really wanted some of the Christmas glimmer, the puzzle yarns. The puzzle glimmers is what I wanted. I want some of that for other projects. But so you would make your grid with your lightest color. I think you go, I think she was saying every 5 rows you would change color. And then you would weave in your other colors. So basically the placemats and the blanket are made the same way. So I will decide for the blanket if I want to crochet the strips, because they are, it will have fringe on the side of both. The placemats have fringe and the blanket has fringe. So I'll see what I end up doing with the blanket, if I actually crochet the strips or if I just leave them plain and double the yarn and bring it through. I'll see how, if it leaves gaps or not, because I've already made things that way. The big rug that I showed in one of my episodes, I made a grid pattern for that, but then I instead of weaving through it, I did latch hook on it, and it made nice and fluffy around the edges of the rug. But those are the ones I've decided to do. I might bring some black through the rug. I mean, through the black would probably go with these two for the Christmas Afghan. But these are the colors of my dining room, so even though they could be Christmas colors, but I'm not making them for Christmas, but they would match my dining room colors. Yeah, my dining room's like Victorian colors, so these would match that. But that's what I'm working on for those. So I'm getting a little bit too many things to show you in one day. So we'll see how these go. These I'm hoping to start by December, but I want to get the baby things finished first, since yeah, I have sort of a deadline with some of the baby things, and then I want to get Christmas slippers finished, and I already made my deadline for things we're making Thursday this month, and for the Creator Spotlight for November. But there's other things I'm working on, of course, and the book. Yeah, I decided to get the book because there's a lot of cute amigurumis in here, and it never hurts to learn new ones. I wanted it basically for this unicorn here, because I tried before. I was making a unicorn out of, I know I showed before the amigurumis I made from Australia. They were a book of crocheteds from down under. Well, that came with a book from, it had 2 unicorns in it, but I tried it in the big Bernat blanket yarn, and that did not work out for me. The stitching, even though I've made so many amigurumis, that was not working out for me, and it ended up looking scary to me when it was done. So I ended up tearing it apart. So I didn't like it when it was finished. So I would rather, I know a lot of people use the blanket yarn to make them, but I prefer the regular kind of yarns, the acrylic or cotton yarn. I do not like, which I said before, I do not like this yarn, which is the recycled, the 100% recycled cotton. I do not like it because it split so bad when I was using it, because they put that in these Red Heart amigurumi kits, which I have a few of them that I did reviews on. I made this bird, and it looked like he had feathers sticking out, because, you know, I kept going with it even though the yarn was splitting really bad. I made the whole thing, and it did look like he had feathers because of the yarn. And when I got the teddy bear one, I decided to switch yarns, and that made the whole difference. I used my own yarn, and he turned out so much better, which that is this one here. I've made several of him. I've made him in white. I've made him in the tan color of my own yarn. But I mean, it's worth it buying them if you're just to learn how to do them, because my Walmart had them clearanced out when I got them. So I got 2 of them, because even if you do the same body, you can change the ears, you can change the face, and make a different animal. That's all you have to do to learn different ones. And you could turn this bird into different kinds of birds just by, you can put different wings on it. different features around the face. But I would invest in them just to learn. Out of all the kits that I've seen, I like these the best. I just don't like the yarn. And the hooks weren't that great either. Yeah, if I did a hook review on these, I would say no on these hooks, because even though they were comfortable, they don't have enough of a groove. I've got so much yarn on my desk right now. I'm trying to show you what I'm talking about. If you look at the groove in here, where that catches your yarn, this one is a hero hook. It has a nice groove. But if you look in here, you hardly have, it looks like it's not, where are we here? Okay. Looks like there's not enough room to catch your yarn. So you need something with a better grip. That's why I use my own most of the time. I have every size of hook, so that wasn't a problem for me to do that. But yeah, if you want to learn, buy one of the kits, or buy a book that has several different patterns, because once you learn the basics of it, which is crocheting in the round, which is what my next crochet 101 would be, learning to do a round of amigurumi and showing where you will not have a line going up the back. I think I learned from several different people different techniques where you have a no-show line. There would be no line going up the back of your amigurumi, or different techniques for that where you just keep going in the round. It doesn't, you won't have a seam. If you see here, it's like a spiral, and you won't be able to tell where you connected. So it's the same thing with the hat. You start at the tip and go down. So, but if you start doing small ones, maybe start with a bigger one that isn't so hard, and then you go to a smaller hook and work with that. But enough with those. But yes, so that's what I'm going to be working on. But I thought this was a cute one because it has 16 different creatures and their accessories. That's what makes these so cute, is they have all the little accessories that go with each one of the animals. That's what jazzes up the little animals, you know, you add little things with them. But that is all the things I have for today, I think, which is enough. Yeah, the sugars and creams I got, they're all number 4. And this one is Jade Mist, which it's looking kind of teal on there, but it is a green, very light green. And of course this one is white. This color is just called Cream, and it's the KC brand. And it says it's the number 3. I might use that for the grid. And then this one is called Berry Crush, and it looks a lot brighter on the screen than it actually is. It's more of a closer to burgundy looking here. And then this one is a beige, but they're calling it jute, but it's like a darker beige color. You can see them side by side. Okay, so that is what else I'm going to be working on. So I will keep you updated on my progress, and I encourage you to look up Kelly from Craft in a Cuppa if you like those bohemian vibes. But she always catches my eye with her new things. She has dresses. She has a new sweater that she just came out with. But it's a tapered one. It kind of goes in at the waist. But if you go ahead and look up her channel, she always catches my eye. And there is a new one. She does amigurumis. Her name is Greta Wings. She has two different channels, one that they're all in Spanish and one that's in English. But I looked her up because she makes dolls, and I want to try to make them the way she makes them. Hers are excellent. They're beautiful. But her name's Greta Wings, G-R-E-T-A-W-I-N-G-S, Greta Wings. But her dolls are beautiful. And she even teaches you how to get them to stand up. And the arms are movable, the legs are movable. You put wires in them, or you can use the pipe cleaners. But there are two people I would encourage you to look up. Kelly from Craftin' a Cuppa, and ooh, I can't remember her name. I'm thinking it's Anna, but I'm not sure. But Greta Wings is her site. And there's a Spanish version and an English version. But that's what I have for you today. And I thank you for joining me. And I will show you my progress on all these things I've been making. And I will keep you updated. And I thank you for joining me today. And think about something you can be thankful for. And it is Thursday. Thankful Thursday. But we can be thankful every day. And I'm thankful I'm not out in the rain anymore where it's freezing cold. And I will see you on Tuesday with Mo. Thank you for joining me.